would cut capital gains tax in a pretty significant way. We'll break that down for you, and the rest of it all with the man who helped craft the thing. Joining us now is the senior economic advisor for the McCain camp, Douglas Holtz-Eakin. He is a former director of the Congressional Budget Office and live with us from McCain.com, wherever that is. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Let's talk about the general points of this thing, the cutting of the capital gains tax. The critics of your side would argue, oh, there you go again, helping out the people who already have a lot of money.
Well, the reality is this. Cutting capital gains taxes is a way to get investors into the market, get those investors who are in to look forward to 2009, 2010 when this particular reduction would take place. It'll solidify asset values to some extent, as proven historically. And right now, if you're an employee of a public pension, if you're in a union pension, if you got an IRA, a 401k, you want to see asset values firm up. It's one of the things that we can do to help savers in America. John McCain wanted to have some help for the people who've been hurt by this financial distress, savers and seniors, homeowners, and the workers you mentioned with the unemployment benefits.
You mentioned seniors. The specific plan for seniors is to lower taxes. Oh, well, we would figure we'd have them in different orders. Lower taxes on seniors tapping into their retirement account to the lowest rate, 10% for 2008 and 2009. There's a lot in here for seniors, and of course the people from the other side of the fence are saying, well, that's because you got to have Pennsylvania and you got to have Florida, and that's where the most seniors live, that, you know, they'll say that's all about pandering.
Look, this is about seniors who have seen the market's down a third from last year. They need to live off this, and anyone who's taking their money out now is taking it out because they need it. And if they're in that kind of distress, we want to make sure we're not taking too much in the way of taxes so that they can maintain their retirement lifestyles, and it'll help the economy. We don't need to see consumer spending fall off the cliff. So this aims right at the kinds of things that Democrats want to talk about, quote, stimulus, only it does it in a way that respects the taxpayer and helps the seniors out.
Accelerate tax write-offs for those forced to sell stocks at a loss in the current market. And a lot of people have had to do just that. They couldn't wait anymore. They're waiting to retire, or this was their time. In other words, increase the amount of capital losses which can be used in tax years 2008 and 2009 to offset ordinary income from $3,000 to $15,000. Englishify that for me, please.
Well, look, I mean, there's some people who had to make a tuition payment so that their son or daughter could go to college. They had to sell off in a terrible market. Current tax rules are you can only deduct $3,000 worth of those losses. That's an old rule. It's been around for decades. Had it been indexed to inflation, it would be about $11,000 right now. Senator McCain's just saying, look, for this year and next year, let's let them write off $15,000 in each of those years, accelerate their ability to do the write-off, and not take more taxes at a time when they're already trying to meet other bills. Anyone who's selling right now is selling because they have to.
Is this plan, you only have a couple of days, the conventional wisdom is that the debate tomorrow, this plan today, to try to make up some ground. Is this thing easy enough to sell to the public that you think it could make a big difference?
Look, this is meant to augment his basic Jobs for America plan, but if you back up, there's a fundamental contrast in this election. Barack Obama is going to raise taxes. He's going to make the claim that he's cutting taxes for 95% of Americans. You know, 45% of Americans don't pay any income tax. And he can't possibly cut taxes for 95% of Americans and spend the $860 billion that he says he's going to spend. His program will hurt jobs. It'll hurt the foundation of American prosperity. John McCain's won't. He doesn't believe in spending money that he doesn't have. He's committed to creating jobs and keeping taxes low. And so that's the contrast the American people will see. And we have 3 weeks in which for them to understand that very clearly, that America's future is at stake.
A day is a mighty long time in politics, especially when you get 20 news cycles a day. Douglas Holtz-Eakin, it's great to see you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's